is probably my favorite part about getting parts. Hello and welcome back to the garage. In today's video, I'm going to fill you guys in on what's gone on in the truck since you saw it in the last video. In the previous video, I got the truck washed and running. The next step was to make it drivable, which meant going through the fuel tank and making sure that it was still usable, repairing the fuel pump, and seeing if we couldn't get the brakes to work. Now, I put fuel in the fuel tank, let it sit there for about a week, and when I poured it back out, it looked absolutely horrendous. So I got a flashlight and I looked around inside the fuel tank, and there was more lacquer and rust than I think should have been in there over the last 22 years. It was quite the sight. So I put apple cider vinegar, soapy, warm water, and let it sit for another week, and then tried the same process again with the fuel, and still no luck. So we ended up having to get a new fuel tank, which is on the way here today. We also had to get a new fuel sending unit, which is sitting here with me now. And boy, I am glad I've made this decision to buy new parts. I know, why not just fix it? Because sometimes it's just not fixable. The next thing was getting the brakes to work. Now, I got pretty lucky. Did you hear that? That was America. There it goes again. There's two of them. Anyway, I got lucky with the brakes and was able just to pour some of that brake fluid into the reservoir and bleed the brakes. And then I got not so lucky because the front driver wheel cylinder decided it was going to puke all over the place. But luckily we still have brakes, we still got something there, but we are going to have to make sure that's topped off. We're going to keep just pumping brake fluid out. So I've got a wheel cylinder kit sitting on the bench ready to be installed in this truck. The other thing was going through the fuel pump. Now, because the engine was running, I thought maybe it'd be fine. It was not. It was definitely not fine. After I drove it around the block, got it drivable, sorta, I went through 2 gallons of fuel in less than probably 3 minutes. That was my first alarm bell. So I drained the oil, and it was more gas than it was oil. So the diaphragm within the fuel pump had ruptured during our little adventure, and that required the fuel pump to be replaced. Now luckily, I've already got that done. Here's it now. Unfortunately, we won't be able to drive the truck in this video as we don't have a fuel tank. But what we can do is we can go through the glove box because we haven't done that yet. Let's go ahead and look through and see what the previous owners left us and what might be lurking within the dark cavities of the cab of the truck. All right, how about you hop in here and let's go through this together. Looks like we've got a little AAA folder here. Inland Automobile Association. That's what we've got. Well, look at that. The original owner's guide. What else? The original protection plan pamphlet. A AAA map. And a Spokane AAA Becker Buick map. Interesting thing about Becker Buick, this is the same place that this truck was purchased from by the previous owner. I believe Becker Buick still exists. Maybe we'll have to take a drive down there someday. See what else we got in this glove box. We'll go through these books here in a little bit. Certificate holder. Definitely don't have those these days. It's like a carburetor kit instruction book. Yep. For 2G, 2GC, 2GV Rochester models. Copyright 1962, 1967. That's pretty neat. That might come in handy if we have to end up taking that carburetor off this thing. Let's see what else. Looks like we got a few more maps. Lewiston and Clarkston. Oregon, Washington. And Western Canada. Well, Alaska and Western Canada. What else we got in here? Fuses. Okay, well. And a whole bunch of them. So this thing might eat fuses. We got 15 amp, 30 amp, 30, 30, and 20. I'm thinking this thing blows 30 amp fuses. So that'll be something we need to keep in mind. But look at these fuse boxes. I mean, you can't get any more original than that. Especially like this one right here. Opens like a little book. Whereas these ones slide. Oh, they don't slide very easy. We'll just leave that be for now. Well, what else have we got in here? Let's move these fuses out of the way. Got a range of bolts. A nail file. Oh, this looks like it's for the battery hold down, the metal battery clamp. A range of bolts and nuts. And a radio knob. Well, it looks like that's all that's in the glove box. Let's look through the protection plan and the owner's guide real quick. These were in the book. It's actually in really good condition. This is all the information you'd ever need on any 64 Chevy truck. Whether it was a C10, gas or diesel, C20s, maybe even some of the bigger trucks. Yep, 3/4 ton, 2.5 ton. Color codes for the engine. So for the 283, I guess the engine's gray. Your transmission capacities. So 2 quarts. What's the other side? Yeah, specifications and technical data. Cooling system. Ratios. So for your 3-speed transmission, 3.14 to 1 for reverse. That's pretty neat. They definitely don't put this kind of information in the books of today, the owner's manuals of today. It's like lubricant capacities here. All the way up to the 4-wheel drive. Lamp bulb data. Fuse chart. Circuit breakers. Another thing that you don't really hear a lot in cars now. Here's the information on the VIN. Might check our VIN and go through that and see what it tells us. Gross vehicle weight ratings and the index. Oh, look at that, a whole list of shop manuals. Looks like this is you would mail this in and then you would get the shop manuals for each specific book. That's pretty cool. Might be able to use that to find the books today. Well, that's pretty neat. In pretty good condition. What do we got in the protection plan? Wonder if this is still valid. It was kept in the glove box, as it says right there. Battery warranty certificates, verification vouchers, and warranty service logs. Not ever used. Well, son of a gun. Let's look under the seat and see if the original jack is still in this. So unfortunately, there is no original jack underneath the seat. All that remains is the tire iron. So if you know where an original 1964 Chevy C10 fleet side floor jack is, let me know in the comments. Other than that, we've got a gun rack, a moldy visor, a torn seat that we remedied with the fabric, and a relatively clean interior. Let's go ahead and check out what the bed looks like. So before we check out the bed and drop the tailgate, I want to talk to you about this bumper that you see here. This bumper is original to this 1964 Chevy, and it's what I like to refer to as an ag bumper. So this bumper here is prime for agricultural use as for its drawbar hitch system. As opposed to having a receiver hitch, you have a pin hitch, which would be normally used in tandem with a drawbar on a piece of equipment. This is what I'm talking about when I say drawbar. And this is what I say equipment. But in addition to the drawbar hitch system, Because the bumper is cut out, it has a unique ability to open fully without having to remove the tailgate. But if you just want a regular pickup bed, you go ahead and secure the chain to the little eyelets here, and it's just like any other pickup bed. Now what you see inside of here is not the original wood bed, but an overlay. Underneath is what's left of the original wood bed. Let's go ahead and dive in a little deeper. So this is what remains of the original bed. Now, it looks to be all there, aside from a few boards missing pieces, but each board is in its own state of decay. Most of the front of the boards up here are completely rotted through, but luckily most of the metal is intact. Now, it looks like maybe a few of these boards might be savable, but we're going to have to go through and just remove each and every board and probably just replace it all, which means taking out the fender wells, taking out each one of these metal pieces, shining them up, and then putting new wood back in it. So we got some work to do on the bed here, and I'm sure we'll find more as we go along the way. So next I was going to show you what I did under the hood, but it kind of started raining, and surprisingly the fuel tank just arrived. So let's go ahead and unbox that thing and see what it looks like. This is probably my favorite part about getting parts. Opening them up. It's also kind of scary. It looks like it's going to slide out maybe. Let's see what we got. Huh. Well, that's a really nice big old piece of rod. I'll say I don't know what that's for. Oh, over here on this end, we've got the sending unit gasket kit. Look at that. Well, I don't see anything that could be wrong with it. The big old rod kind of dented it right here on this end. Luckily, this faces towards the back. Anyway, goes on. Here, let me just flip it. That's how it'll be in the truck. But everything looks okay to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys see anything that could be alarming? There is a little bit of a bend here that's chipped the paint off. And there was a hole on that box. Looked like maybe it got dropped. So hopefully that won't cause any problems, hopefully. Made in Taiwan. All right, well, aside from this rod, I think we got everything we need. I don't know what the rod's for. So if you guys know why there's a rod with my fuel tank, let me know in the comments. Because in any case, I'm thinking score, because this is a really nice piece of rod. But other than that, we've got the gasket kit for the sending unit, the brand new sending unit. I'll just hold it. The only thing I didn't get was a new fuel cap, but I think we'll be able to make the one I've got work. So I guess all that's left to do is to throw this in the truck, but you'll have to wait for the next video to see all that. I want to thank you guys so much for watching this one. Go back and watch our previous video, the first video on this Chevy C10, and some of our older videos. There's a lot to enjoy on this channel. Make sure you like and subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out on new videos, and as always, we will see you here again at the garage.